The rain lashed the Chicago skyline like fists against glass, drowning out the hum of the city below our high-rise perch. Mateo's hand trembled on my shoulder, his breath hot and ragged against my ear as he choked out the words I'd never seen coming. Uncle L, I can't pretend anymore. I love you, not like family. In that split second, the textbook I'd been poring over slipped from my fingers, hitting the floor with a thud that echoed louder than the thunder outside, shattering the fragile peace we'd built over months of late-night study sessions. I froze, my heart slamming against my ribs like a trapped bird. I'm Lorenzo Ruiz, 35, a high school history teacher in the Windy City, the kind of guy who quotes Frederick Douglass to his students and brews coffee strong enough to wake the dead. My life had been a steady rhythm of lesson plans, grading papers, and quiet evenings nursing a scotch while the lake winds howled. Gay since I could remember, but after my ex, Javier, gutted me 2 years back, cheating with some finance bro from the Loop, I'd sworn off the chaos of love. Sworn off mentoring too, until my sister Carla dumped her 17-year-old son on my doorstep last summer. He's flunking out, L, she'd said over the phone from her new life in LA, voice sharp as a switchblade. Straighten him out. You're the responsible one. Mateo arrived with a duffel bag slung over his shoulder and eyes that held storms of their own, dark, searching, like he was carrying the weight of every unanswered question in the world. Half Puerto Rican like me, half Mexican from Carla's side, he was all sharp angles and restless energy, with that mop of curls that fell into his face when he got frustrated. At 18 then, he was a freshman at community college, majoring in graphic design but bombing every class because, as he put it, the world's too loud to focus. I took him in, set up a corner of my living room as his study nook, complete with a second-hand desk, a stack of SAT prep books, and a mini-fridge stocked with energy drinks. It was supposed to be simple. Tutor the kid, get him on track, send him back to mom with a diploma in hand. But nothing's simple when you're both adrift in the same ocean. Those first weeks were a grind. Mateo would pace the apartment like a caged wolf, ranting about how the system's rigged against kids like us, brown boys from the South Side dreaming bigger than our zip code allows. I'd sit him down, crack open the books, and we'd dive in. Algebra equations that twisted like pretzels, history timelines that mapped out revolutions I'd lived echoes of in my own quiet rebellions. Patience, mijo, I'd say, echoing my abuela's old refrain. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither's your future. He'd roll his eyes, but he'd listen, scribbling notes in that frantic scrawl of his, the one that looked like graffiti tagging a subway car. As fall bled into winter, something shifted. The sessions stretched longer, the silences heavier. We'd talk after the books closed, about the bullying he'd endured in high school, the whispers of faggot in the locker room that had him skipping gym for months. I shared my own scars. Coming out to my parents in '07, the year Obama won, only for Dad to walk out mid-dinner, muttering about family disgrace. Mateo leaned in during those confessions, his knee brushing mine under the table, a spark I chalked up to the radiator's heat. He was family, after all, blood through Carla, the sister who'd clawed her way out of our childhood projects while I stayed behind to hold the fort. Love? That was a line we didn't cross. Or so I thought. By spring, Mateo was acing his midterms, his sketches evolving from doodles to digital mock-ups that popped with color and edge, posters for imaginary protests, album covers for bands that didn't exist yet. Pride Month rolled around, and I dragged him to the parade down Halsted Street, rainbows waving like flags of truce. He marched beside me, quieter than the drag queens belting show tunes, but his grip on my arm was fierce, like he was anchoring himself to the moment. That night, back in the apartment, buzzed on cheap beer from a street vendor, he hugged me goodbye to some friends we'd met. Too tight, too long. Thanks for getting me, Uncle L, he murmured into my neck. I laughed it off, ruffled his hair. But the seed was planted, burrowing deep. The surprise hit on a muggy June evening, the kind where the air clings like regret. Finals loomed, and we'd hunkered down for an all-nighter, the city pulsing below us in neon veins. I'd just finished explaining quadratic formulas for the umpteenth time when he stood, pacing to the window, silhouetted against the glittering loop. Thunder grumbled in the distance, a warning I ignored. Then he turned, eyes blazing, and those words tumbled out. Love, not like family. I shoved back from the desk, chair scraping like nails on chalkboard. Mateo, what the hell? You can't. We're... My voice cracked, a teacher's poise crumbling under the weight. He stepped closer, not touching but close enough I could smell the citrus shampoo on his skin, see the vein throbbing in his neck. It's real, El. I felt it since Christmas, when you stayed up till dawn helping me rewrite that essay on Stonewall. You see me, not the screw-up, not Carla's kid. Me. Panic clawed up my throat. This wasn't some rom-com meet-cute. This was a grenade in my lap. I loved the kid, fiercely, protectively, but as an uncle, a mentor. The man who'd bandaged his scraped knees at 8, who'd driven him to his first art class at 15. Crossing that line, it'd torch everything. My job, my family, the fragile trust we'd forged. Sit down, I said, voice steady as I could manage. We're family. That's our story. You get that, right? His face crumpled, tears spilling like the rain starting to sheet the windows. Family? That's bullshit. You think I don't see how you look at me? Like I'm more than blood. He wasn't wrong. I'd caught myself lingering on his laugh, the way his hands danced over a sketchpad. But admitting it, that was surrender. Instead, I did what I always do, deflect. You're stressed. Finals jitters. We'll talk tomorrow. He stormed to his room, door slamming like a guillotine. I poured a scotch, neat, and stared at the ceiling, replaying every late-night glance, every shared secret. By morning, the air between us was thick as fog off Lake Michigan. He aced his exams, pulled a 3.8 GPA, his highest ever, but the victory tasted like ash. We tiptoed around each other for weeks, my lessons reduced to emails, his sketches left and signed on the fridge. Then came the betrayal, swift and silver-tongued as a South Side hustler. Carla called mid-July, her voice all honey over the line. Heard Mateo's killing it. You're a miracle worker, bro. I grunted, stirring pasta in my kitchen while he sulked in the living room, headphones on, sketching furiously. Just doing my job. She paused, then, listen, El. I appreciate it, but he's coming home. Got a spot at UCLA in the fall. Full ride for design. Relief washed over me, mingled with a gut punch of loss. But then she dropped the bomb. And hey, thanks for keeping things appropriate. Mateo mentioned some weird vibes. You didn't, encourage anything, right? My blood ran cold. Weird vibes? From him? What are you talking about? She laughed, light but laced with steel. Oh, teen crushes. He gets dramatic. Just don't let it get messy. We're family. Click. She hung up, leaving me reeling. Betrayal burned hot. Not just her assumption, but the implication that I'd crossed lines I hadn't. Worse, it forced the truth. Mateo had confided in her, twisted our moment into something sordid to protect himself, or maybe to push me away before I could reject him fully. That night, confrontation brewed like a storm front. He was packing, duffel half-zipped on the couch, when I cornered him. Your mom called, said you told her about us. His eyes widened, then narrowed, defiant, cornered. What if I did? You gonna deny it? Act like you didn't feel it too. Thunder rolled outside, sinking with the roar in my chest. I felt something, yeah, care. Breathe. But love? The kind you mean? That's not ours to take. You'd hate me tomorrow. For ruining you. For making you question everything. He hurled a sketchbook across the room, pages fluttering like wounded birds. Ruining me? You're the one who's scared, hiding behind family, because Javier broke you. I see you, El. Waking up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, grading papers like they're confessions. Let me in. His voice broke, raw as an open wound, and for a heartbeat, I wavered, stepped forward, arms itching to pull him close. But the line held barely. Go to LA, Mateo. Build your life. I'll be here, cheering from the sidelines. That's what mentors do. He left at dawn, cab idling in the drizzle, duffel slung over his shoulder like armor. No hug, just a nod that cut deeper than goodbye. The apartment echoed empty for weeks. His study nook a ghost town of eraser shavings and half-finished canvases. I threw myself into work, subbing extra shifts at the school, volunteering at the local LGBTQ center, quoting Baldwin to wide-eyed teens who reminded me of him. Patience, I told them, responsibility, words that tasted like lies. Fall turned to winter, snow blanketing the city in hush. Carla sent updates. Mateo's thriving, interning at a design firm, dating some surfer kid from Santa Monica. Good for him, I texted back, throat tight. But the ache lingered, a low hum under my skin. I'd failed him, not by crossing the line, but by drawing it too rigidly, too soon. Love isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's the quiet burn of seeing someone's light and stepping back to let it shine. Then, Christmas Eve, my buzzer sang. I opened the door to Mateo, snow-dusted and sheepish, a portfolio under one arm, takeout tamales in the other. Mom's flight got canceled. Thought I'd crash here. We ate in silence at first, the TV droning some rom-com farce. But as the credits rolled, he set down his fork. I lied to her, about the weird vibes. Was scared you'd send me away if I pushed. His eyes met mine, steady now, no storms. And you were right. I needed space to figure it out. But I miss my mentor, the one who taught me it's okay to feel messy. Relief flooded me, warm as the radiator's glow. I pulled him into a hug, familial, fierce, and for the first time it felt whole. No betrayal's shadow, no unspoken longings clawing at the edges. We'd both grown. Him into a man who chased dreams without apology. Me into an uncle who learned that responsibility isn't shielding someone from pain, but walking beside them through it. Patience? That's the real revolution. Waiting for the rain to pass, trusting the sun will follow. As we cleared the plates, laughing over old study mishaps, the city lights twinkled outside like stars reclaimed. Mateo wasn't my lover, and that was the grace of it. He was my mirror, my second chance. A reminder that in the grand American saga of reinvention, the deepest romances are the ones that set you free.